On the morning of December 27th, 1941, a train car carrying some of the most valuable documents in the world pulled into the train station in Louisville, Kentucky. Scrambling in the weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Library of Congress devised a plan to send the most important parts of its collection to safer places throughout the country. And for the most treasured parts of the collection, the Library of Congress chose the newly completed gold bullion depository in Kentucky, known as Fort Knox. Meeting the overnight train from Washington, D.C. as it arrived in Louisville was a group of armored cars, escorts, and Secret Service agents. The 4 cases in their care as they drove to nearby Fort Knox held a collection of national treasures that would make Nicolas Cage gasp overdramatically. Case 1, an original Gutenberg Bible. Case 2, the Articles of Confederation. Case 3, Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address and 2 drafts of the Gettysburg Address. Case 4, the Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence. There was one other notable document nestled in the collection, an original copy of Magna Carta. Why, you ask, did one of the most important documents in Western history and a British national treasure spend time in Kentucky? It's an interesting story. The 1939 World's Fair took place in New York City, which was largely dedicated to the future. It was the first time many people would ever gaze upon a television, see the illumination of fluorescent lighting, the feel of nylon fabric, or even peer into a Viewmaster. Despite the focus on the future, at the British Pavilion, attendees could connect with the past and see one of the 4 original copies of Magna Carta. Magna Carta was created in 1215 and was an agreement between King John and some angry nobles who were fed up with his unlimited power. Many historians point to it as one of the foundational documents for the rule of law and one that provided certain rights to people of a nation. Of course, in 1939, Germany was waging war on Europe, and England thought a gesture of sharing Magna Carta would soften America's stance and help convince them to join the war. Of course, by the time the World's Fair came to an end, the war was in full swing, and Germans' boats prowled the seas. The British government realized it would be foolish to send a priceless and irreplaceable piece of history back over dangerous waters. So they asked the American government to babysit Magna Carta. America, reeling from the attack on Pearl Harbor, had just the solution: a new facility near Fort Knox. The United States Gold Bullion Depository was inland, wildly secure, and already home to much of the U.S. Treasury's gold. And for several years during the World War, it was the safe harbor for what the head of the Library of Congress called the documentary history of freedom in our world.